Hey guys, it's Rita from Blog Genie. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial about Feedburner 101. This is going to cover what Feedburner is and why it is that you need to convert your feed for your blog right now and put it into Feedburner, and what the benefits of that are going to be for your blog. Because we've been running into a lot of people who didn't know what Feedburner was, why it was important, or even what their RSS feed was for their blog. And it's super important for growing your readership and bringing people back to your site. So we just wanted to do a quick tutorial. The things we're going to cover is how to figure out your feed address in the first place, because if you don't know what it is, you certainly aren't going to know where to find it necessarily. So we'll do a quick how-to on that. How to set up your Feedburner. Once you know your feed address, setting up Feedburner is super easy. Enabling email subscriptions for Feedburner. It's something that isn't really self-evident when you set it up, and you miss a really nice population of people without doing that. So we'll just cover about why that's important and how you do that. Changing your feed delivery time, that's specifically for your email subscriptions, and it's also, once again, super easy to do, and it can really make a difference, especially with the very full inboxes that we all have, and we'll just cover that briefly. And then we have why Feedburner is important, especially for free blogging platforms like WordPress.com and Blogger. It really makes a big difference long term with where your site's headed, and we'll discuss why that is. And lastly, if you do change your website domain name or you transfer to self-hosted WordPress, how to transfer your feed and not lose readers, which of course, huge thing for everybody when you're moving your blog, which is something we deal with every day. The transfers. How can you transfer your feed without dropping people? Because, you know, the whole point is to grow readership, not drop all the people that have been supporting you while you're on your free platform. So that's what we're going to cover. If that's something you need to know, then watch on, and we'll talk soon. Okay, hi guys. We're going to do the Feedburner stuff now, and I'm going to do it with my puppy in the room, and hopefully, I've asked her not to chew on my power cord, but you know, she doesn't always listen. There you go. Okay, so the first thing, log into Feedburner, Google it, feedburner.com, and you'll need to log into your Gmail address to do that. So this is your opening screen. This is the blank that's of importance. It says type your blog or your feed address here. Two options. If it's type your blog, just type your blog in, what the URL is, and hit next. Most of the time, Feedburner is going to be able to pull off what your feed address is, because it is actually different than your blog. If it can't, I'll show you how to do that. So you go over to, we're going to use FitBlogger because, you know, I'm kind of partial to that one. And if you have an RSS button that's integrated into your theme, super easy, right click, copy link address. It'll actually pull your feed address right off, copy paste it there. If you don't, and often it's the Blogger blogs that don't, all you have to do is, if you're using Chrome, which I'm going to, so you'll have to figure this out otherwise. I have a Chrome extension called RSS subscription extension that lets me find subscribe to blogs when they don't have a subscription option that's readily available on the site. Not everybody obviously is going to know how to do that or is going to want to do that, so that's why it's important to have a subscription option on your site. All you have to do is click that, and I'll link up to the extension underneath the video too, so you guys can find it. And then click the feed button, and it's right up here. You leave out the view source, so this here, copy and paste. You go to your feeds, paste it over, and hit next. There we go. The next step is Feedblogger or Feedburner wants you to rename your feed. As you can see right down here, wants you to give it an address. So this is the title. Most of the time it's your blog title. This is what is going to appear in people's feed readers and stuff, so make sure it's something that they're going to know what it is, and your blog title is the best thing. Your feed address, Feedburner is going to give you a default one that isn't taken. You can choose something different, but if it's already been taken by somebody else, then you'll get flagged that you'll need to come up with a new one. And yeah, my dog's attacking something, but that's okay. So pick something, pick not something, just have this work. We're going to leave it with the default. There, now this is what your feed address is. So if ever you're asked for your feed address to input your address, this is the one that you're going to pick now. And for example, if you have a subscription button on your site, for example, like here, we have one on FitBlogger, this would now be linked to this address just to update things. And we hit next, and we can ignore all that. See, easy, just ignore things. Perfect. So now we're into kind of customizing the feed a little bit. So all we're going to do here is just enable the email subscriptions for people. So you go over to publicize and then email subscriptions, and you hit activate. And why this is so important is really, believe it or not, most people don't blog, and most people don't actually know what an RSS feed is. Most people don't have Google Reader or any of those sorts of things. So if you don't enable email subscriptions, you're leaving out a huge population of people that just have email. And I mean, the majority of people have email. So at least you know you're capturing all the different kind of delivery mechanisms that you can to make sure that the most people can subscribe that want to. So for email subscriptions, as you saw, you just hit activate. That's all there is to it. And the other thing is delivery options, where this is going to pick a default time, but it's important to come in here and check because it might be 1 to 3 in the morning. And depending on your target audience for your blog and the people that read it, different times are going to be more successful than others. If you have stay-at-home moms, maybe, during the early afternoon is going to be a good time because that's nap time. People that go to work, maybe, people are reading during their coffee breaks and different things. So you can play around with different times, say leave it from 9 to 11 for a month, then go back in and do after supper for a month and see which gets you the most click-throughs for your blog, because it really depends on who's reading your stuff, So hopefully you'll know your audience and be able to pick times. But if not, play around. It doesn't hurt. And you can get a really big difference in your click rates and the people that are coming to read your blog. So it's definitely worth checking it out. And then you hit save. And the last thing that we're going to do is learn how to transfer your feed. Of course, when you're setting it up, you're not necessarily worried about transferring it later. But why this is so important long term is if you're on a free site right now on WordPress or Blogger, if you ever transfer, and you may not be planning on doing that even right now, but most of us, when we first started our blogs, had no intention of or no idea how big it was going to get or anything like that. It's a good preventative measure just to have it in Feedburner so that if you do need to transfer it, you're not going to lose any subscribers, because you don't want to be worried about that 2 years down the road and it's too late. So all you have to do is your original feed's up here. All you do is erase it. You get the new feed from your new blog the exact same way we just did it. You copy and paste the feed address in here, and you hit Save Feed Details. And as you'll notice, the feed address has stayed the same. And the feed address here is what is linked to people's RSS feeds, their Google readers, and their email addresses. So even though this has changed, this stays the same, and all the people don't even know that you've transferred your entire site. They just keep getting it as if nothing has ever happened, and that's exactly how you want it to happen, because you don't want to have 200 people all of a sudden stop getting updates from your site and have to go and resubscribe, because a lot of people won't do that, and a lot of people won't even realize, say if they only read your stuff occasionally, they won't realize that you've transferred. And people are busy, so it's really nice. It makes it easiest for your readers, which is really what it's all about, and maintains your subscription numbers, which is nice to help you build community and the overall size of your blog and reach more people. So if you have any other questions about feeds and all that kind of stuff, just leave a question in the comments.